Hey everybody, welcome to Nightshift Uncensored, episode 20. Here are my co-hosts Carlos and Will.
Today we have Madison back.
Madison is back, and I'm going to be nice to her this time.
Yeah, you were a dick last
Supposedly
time.
last time I was really mean to her.
I don't think so.
I think you're in a bad
There's
mood.
Jaffe.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was the sexual tension.
Jaffe's here in spirit. Jaffe's in Asia having a time of his life, visiting some beautiful countries during monsoon season.
Hey Jaffe.
But
I'm sure they have plenty of stories from that trip.
oh yeah.
How are you guys feeling today? I'm tired.
You know, I'm tired too, but it's life. I've been tired since I was born.
No, I'm just trying for my shift yesterday.
Right, that too.
It's real night shift on
It's
Uncensored.
really night shift.
Christ,
What time did we get off yesterday? This weekend was long.
Have you not noticed that? So since my tenure in the business, I think I spoke about it last time, how Saturday night has turned into what used to be a really fun, happy-go-lucky people enjoying themselves into just this just mean, angry, drunk people. It's just they're not nice.
I don't know. What do you think, Madison?
I think it's because the weekends start earlier now. Like people start partying on
Thursday.
Wednesday and Thursday. So by Saturday, their vendors at the end of it.
I
It
mean,
used to
it's
just be
like,
Friday and Saturday.
yeah, I mean, I think it's because that other club closed too. But
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like sometimes we work so hard. It's like
They're not even-
me and the bartender, we looked at each other like, man, like our money better reflect how hard we're working, because it's just like we are running.
Yeah, it was like, this is above
I
my
mean,
pay
perfect
grade
example is
last night.
it's like even asking to go to the bathroom. 10 years ago, I'm like, pardon me, can you tell me where the restroom is? It's like bathroom. I'm like, are you what's wrong with you? You need a
ATM.
ATM.
Like banging on the
Bathroom.
bar, I need a vodka, and it's like 3:30 in the morning. And you're like, all right, man.
I mean,
boys.
that might be the fact that people just don't, they don't have social skills like they used to before.
I don't know where it's gone.
More social
all brain
media
dead.
and things like that.
Yeah.
Perhaps, I don't know.
The thing I noticed too is that when we were younger going out, we couldn't wait to interact with each other. We went to hey guys, what's up, man? What'd you do this weekend? How was work? What's going on with your life? Now that the phone is out, like you go to a bar or nightclub and everyone's got their phone out. You see a group of people and no one's talking to each other. They all got their phone out. You're like, what the hell, man? There's no hey. They're all like,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that could be it to it. I mean, people just don't respect like they used to.
just gone.
Just dicks in general.
And then you got that dude that's worth $250 million that wouldn't give the girl the money last night.
He races for NASCAR.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Oh, yeah.
busy.
He was just being, I think, and when I said, why don't you just barter with her, maybe have some fun with it, and he did, and he was joking around, and he ended up paying her, he ended up tipping too. It wasn't like, I think he just, I don't know, maybe when you get to that kind of point in money in your life,
You don't care.
you if you don't care anymore, I mean, I guess you have to put a number on it. You still have to, I still have to act like money is important, even though I got a truckload of it, right? Because I don't know.
Well, I mean, you also have extremely higher bills. So it's not
Well,
like,
yeah. I mean,
it's not like you're worth $250 million. You live in an apartment that's $2,000 a month.
right,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like, so-
True. I mean, that's why most people that win the lottery lose their money, right? Because they hit all this money, but the income isn't there to substantiate what they go and buy a $15 billion house, and
I mean, I doubt that dude's making millions a year like he was prior to.
He owns a team.
Oh, okay. Then.
oh, he's in Egypt.
He's making more.
Yeah. We're not going to mention who he is with that, but yeah, he told me, he said, yeah, he left broadcasting. He's like, and now he's back with the team doing stuff. Yeah, he's fine.
Nice. Good for him.
Good for him.
Should have him on
How
the
you doing,
podcast.
Madison? What's going on? Glad to have you back. How was this week at work? How was this week at night shift?
It was
Any
good.
stories from this week?
It was really busy. I feel like I walked in at 9 and I didn't stop moving until like 2, like right at 2. And I was like, oh, wow, it's 12. But then it was 2.
You're just
It
not
was-
used
it
to
was
working
busy.
hard, huh?
No, I'm not. I don't have to go that hard. You know what I mean?
I didn't realize that you were waitressing anymore.
You didn't realize that?
I
You're the
always see you
manager?
like I always see you half naked, selling
Yeah,
shots.
this is my most conservative outfit.
Yeah.
Yep. I do the shooters on Thursdays and Fridays,
Okay.
and then I do my
Well,
charity
I don't
waitress
work
shift
on Saturdays. So.
on Saturday. I have to do it.
Yeah.
So elaborate what's to the people that don't know you like we know you. What
Yeah.
exactly is a shooter girl doing in the club?
Okay, so I carry around a little tray with like test tubes, and they're filled with different liquors. And
Is there actually alcohol in them?
I don't know.
Yes, there is.
You know, people always want to know,
little
right?
Yes, there is.
Just
There's
a
not a
little
smidge. I
smidge.
make sure there's booze in these things.
No,
no.
when we first started doing them, they didn't have a lot of
It was like a
alcohol.
shot per tray.
And
Yeah.
then people complain, so now they're like,
Right.
just alcohol. you know?
Yeah. So I just walk around with that, and I'm like, "Hey, you guys want a Hooter shooter?" And then they're like, "No," and I'm like, "You get to take it out of my tits," and they're like, "All right." I was built in a laboratory to do this, so then I straddle them. They take the shot out of my tits, and it's good, clean fun.
Oh, that's nice.
It's like you're perfect. It's perfect for you with your
Yeah.
personality. You're a lot of fun.
I found my
and-
calling.
Yeah, and it works. I think the other girl that has done it for us recently, it's like I can't compete with that. I can't compete with that.
Well, there's probably not a lot of places that, that you go and get that, right? So I'm
Yeah.
sure you get some pretty, like, crazy reactions to the guys that are actually, like, getting to
Yeah.
take a shot of.
Yeah,
used to be a
it's like
popular
they're
thing.
overstimulated. I'm like, I'm coming in.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
like
it's
there's
like-
alcohol, tits. It's a
I
lot
mean,
going on.
I go out to clubs and bars. I mean, I don't go to strip clubs per se because there's not a lot, but, like, you're taking a shot off the girl's boobs. It's probably pretty.
Yeah, you're not a Capital
the
Girl.
hell, where am I?
I mean, shots at
even,
your
even
titties.
nightclubs used to back in the day used to do it just because if you didn't have service staff, in just a bar, interaction in the crowd. And that's what it's really for. We're not making a killing on the shooters. We want.
Who?
Well, I know you are, but just having a pretty face and someone who's bubbly, just out there adding to the party. And I
Yeah.
think you do a great job of that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It is essential for
Yeah.
our business.
I mean,
don't
that
don't
place
get
would
us
not-
wrong.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
place wouldn't be that great without me.
I think it's fun. So did you watch the last episode that you were on?
I did a couple times.
So were there any stories that you think you like left out? You're like, man, whenever we talked about this, about your career in this industry, I'm sure that you probably like, man, I should have told that story after you watched
I
it.
was thinking about it. I was like, when I was camming, there were a lot more like fucked up stories that I didn't mention, but they came to me.
So you were
they're-
a cam girl, right?
I was a cam girl, and people just ask crazy shit. And I think sometimes they do it just to see like the reaction, like to see if I'll actually do it. But then they pay per minute, so I like milk it. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you want? There was this one guy that wanted, like, he's like, do you have a pet bird? And I was like, where's this?
A what?
Where's this
A
guy?
pet
A pet bird.
A pet bird.
And he was like, I want you to go get a bird and get a bunch of bird food and bend over and spread open your asshole and fill it with bird food, and then have the bird like eat the bird food out of your ass. And I was
Surely
like,
you didn't do this.
Wait.
no, I took myself to Petco and I was like, this is what I need. No, I didn't do that. Are you fucking joking?
I want a bird with that a sharp beak,
What
like
was
a
the-
dull beak.
Let me see the
Adult
bird
peak.
selection
Was there
today.
like
A
a
toucan.
was there
No.
like a money offering for this act? Like how much did he offer?
I didn't get that far. I was like, I don't think I'm the girl for you.
Wow.
Block.
So
But-
is there like a regular fee and then add-ons are?
So
is
once
there
there's
anything?
like private show starts, they pay per minute. It's whatever you set it as. You
Yeah,
can like
see.
differentiate. And then if they like have a request, I guess if you were willing
Yeah.
to do that, you could be like, I don't know what someone would charge for that. That's not that's above my pay grade.
No, you,
for sure.
you would think that that this is exclusive to like the night industry, but I've seen some people talk about like in the ER, and people come in with like
Crazy shit up their
extremely
ass.
large objects
Yeah.
up their ass.
Yeah.
My one of my friends, she's in the ER and she just posted. I guess she was at some looking at some fruits and stuff like that, and there was this gigantic. What is that called?
Cucumber?
Zucchini.
Cucumber. Yeah,
Cucumber?
yeah. He's like, oh, something about in reference to this is the new thing she's gonna find in the ER. So
Yeah, cucumber up the butt.
So
Classic.
did you ask the
we need to
guy?
have nurses.
Yeah.
To talk about.
2 nurses here. That is crazy.
Because they work the night
Right.
shift.
Right. They do work the night
Imagine
shift.
what they're getting in the
They
night shift.
probably have some
Like,
stories.
how do you explain that though?
So you know what would be funny? They probably see some of our customers after after we're done with them.
Have you had an incident where you had to go to the ER and have something removed? Tell us.
Nah,
No?
no cucumbers up the butt that got stuck up there.
You would strike me as a person.
Yeah, do I? Thank you.
You know how to take him out.
Yeah, I don't get lost in there. Can you imagine? I don't even know how I would handle that situation.
Dude, like, how do you
you
go
walk
back,
up to
like-
the desk, you're like, okay, listen, please don't judge me. Yeah, I'd be on a watch list probably.
I wonder
That's crazy.
if they actually, they're actually forward about it. Like, hey, I put this up my ass, or
I mean,
or
what are
them
you
like,
supposed
"Oh
to
my
say?
God,
You
I
need
fell."
help.
I mean, at some point you got to be, because I mean,
mean,
if you're
yeah,
in trouble,
you-
if
Yeah,
you're
if
in
you have a
trouble,
Yeah, you're
coke
gonna
can under
die,
your butt,
bro.
like, what are you supposed to say? Hey, I guess I think they'll find
Like,
it.
you gotta
Like, you gotta be
your
honest.
stomach open.
Something's inside me. I don't know what it is.
right?
I don't know how it got there, and I don't know where it is.
There was this squirrel. Okay, so
What's the craziest thing you've used?
David.
I mean, I don't know. If I was a woman, I'd probably
He
use
wants
all
to
kinds
know.
of crazy shit.
Really, just be sitting around imagining different.
I don't
things.
really put like crazy shit up my ass. That's not my
Oh,
thing.
anywhere.
Oh my god. I don't know, David. What's the craziest thing you put up your butt?
I never have. No.
That's a lie.
I got a finger.
You see it in your eyes.
Not my
Like
own.
one finger, three. Okay. What was his name?
No, I just wanted my thing. You know?
Yeah.
Talk about it. It's cool. Yeah. You can ask me questions. It's fine. No, I've tried the finger thing. It's not my thing.
I
No.
thought you said you were going to kind of interview us this time. You had questions for
Yeah,
us.
I've got a couple questions.
No, we're down. Obviously, so
Okay.
Yeah, questions.
David finger in the butt. That's it.
Got that. Got that covered. That was
Now
the
you
first
know.
on the list. Actually.
Now everybody knows.
Okay. How many fingers do you like up your ass, Will?
No, I'm not really into it either, but it's been tried. You guys tend to like to try things like that. And I'm like,
You guys.
yeah. I mean, I'm not like squirmish. I'm like, okay.
You're like, all right.
No.
They're kind of like
You gotta
it.
spice up their
No
relationship.
hospital
No.
trips.
Well, the
though?
doctor's
Nothing?
already done it, right?
Hospital trips, no.
Okay.
No.
No, Will's actually really cool. So at lineup, I'm a waitress at the club. He's like, his head's like a textbook, like a history book. He's always got these fun facts. So what got you so interested in being so knowledgeable?
What made me want to be knowledgeable?
Yeah, on liquor. And
I hate being
I feel
dumb.
like you know everything.
I hate feeling dumb. It's probably why I suck at doing drugs. It makes me feel dumb.
Okay.
I just don't like that. And it's always intrigued me. Human nature, I think, is generated by the fact. I think the biggest question I've always had is how do we repeat doing dumb shit when we have a history of dumb shit being done, and then we repeat it. And so it always amazes me that, I mean, geniuses in history have repeated situations that have already been done. So it always amazes me why. What about the human mind makes you want to try to see if they couldn't do it, maybe I can get it done, and you know damn well that it's probably impossible.
So where does the line "history repeats itself" come from then?
I mean, that's pretty much it, right? Yeah, right. That's pretty much
I mean,
it.
I figured it was because you've been alive for half a century.
He is a fossil.
Like, I've been through this cycle
just
before.
constantly reading.
It's like when you talk to, like when I talk to a 20-year-old, they're like, oh, you know so much. I'm like, I don't know. I've been alive for a long fucking time now.
By
You know?
default.
42. It just is what it is. Comes with the territory.
Yeah, is that what it is?
I think so. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think you should have been a history teacher or something.
Yeah, that's
you know?
what
I wanted to be a history
You
teacher.
would have been an amazing teacher.
We'll
I'm a
be-
history major, so yeah.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
We'll like
I wanna
be in a
be history
lineup,
teacher.
That's what it is.
and he's
Yeah.
like telling something. He's like, "Yeah, whiskey came from Iraq in 1800." And I'll look around, and all the girls are just looking at him like this, like they're listening. I'm like, "There's something about you could definitely lead a cult." You know what I mean? Like I would drink the Kool-Aid.
There's
for
money
sure.
in that.
Yeah, there's money there.
No, I think my favorite thing about Will is that he has something in the warehouse or something that you need.
Yeah.
So like if you needed
I got you.
I got that in the warehouse. Like, how do you have that in the
At
warehouse?
my uncle's.
So we don't have the warehouse anymore, but
Tell me this warehouse.
I had
What's
a
going on?
I had a business partner. You guys know Michael, Michael Mark. I can say his name. Michael is a pack rat when it comes to equipment and things. So whenever something is available and it's a good deal, he'll buy it, even if he doesn't need it, and then he'll store it. Or if we have something, business goes out, he's like, "Don't let's not sell that. I'll just keep it."
There's a name for that, right?
Oh, yeah, he
Hoarding.
keeps it. Yeah. So he'll keep stuff. And you'll be sitting with him, and you'll be like, "Man, the restaurant could use a new burner." He's like, "I think I got one." And you're like, "No,
Slightly
you
used.
don't, man. No, you don't." And he'll take you to what is it? He has like storage units all over town. He'll like, "I think it's this one," and it's not. You have to go to another one, and he'll dig through shit, and sure enough, he'll have something. So I always knew that whenever I was looking for stuff or needed stuff for certain businesses, I would see these things that he had, and I'm like, okay, I need to remember that in case someone ever needs it. And that's how the warehouse thing started. Whenever you would like, I need something, I'm like, I'm pretty sure Michael has that. We got it in the warehouse.
Yeah. But I think, did you ever actually show up with the thing we needed from the warehouse? That's my question.
I don't think so.
never.
No,
Which is like we have it in the warehouse, but it never showed
because,
up.
because the journey and going to find it is trust me not worth it once you get it. It'll be like
Yeah. It's not what you actually needed.
no, it's not like it's neatly put in a warehouse somewhere and you have to find which one it is. It's not organized.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, moving speakers, moving chairs, moving tables and stoves and you're like, that's it? You'd be like, fuck off. All right.
I'll go get the George Gorman grill from Walmart. You're like, never mind, man. I got it.
But that's the warehouse story. Did we ever get anything from the warehouse?
I don't think so.
No, we
I think
not.
you always mentioned it,
Yeah.
but we never actually. There was nothing tangible about the warehouse.
I think
Okay, though.
I think there was some speakers once, but that was a different place.
So that's Will.
That's
Random,
well.
yeah.
Okay, this
So-
is my next question for Carlos. So you worked at a dealership before the club. How do you think like that culture and that hustle helped you be so successful at the strip club?
I mean, it helped a lot. Like I worked in an industry that you basically were told how to sell, right? I sold cars.
32 double D's, rides amazing.
But it's a sell culture. It's a sell culture.
10,000 miles only.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
She
that's
rides
funny.
really
That's
good.
funny. No, it's a sell culture that focused on like luxury items.
Yeah.
Because obviously I sold a luxury brand, and where we work, we are kind of a luxury brand within our industry.
Yeah.
So, kind of just take what I know from this and, try to teach the staff and, everything we learned and where I worked at before was from like brands like Starbucks, sponsored by Starbucks, Ritz-Carlton and things like that. So it's like proven, marketing and
Yeah.
proven methods of training. And so, I just try to use that to the best of my ability and to the industry that we're in. So, sell expensive shit. I sold expensive cars. Now we just like to sell expensive bottles and sell expensive women.
Yeah.
And it's a relationship too. Because selling is like you gotta ask the questions to the customers. And in this industry, you're gonna have some people that just here it is. This is what you get. You want a girl, is that. But if you're able to like hold a conversation, try to ask the questions with the customer, and then you get to know them, you're able to build relationships. And that's what I've been able to have so many customers throughout the years,
Yeah.
So it's just, I guess it kind of helps, yeah.
I think Carl's approach is a very professional approach to the business.
For sure.
I mean, you go to any other establishment like that or even nightclubs, they're just order takers in general. So I think
Yeah.
his approach is more
I always
professional.
say to other waitresses how like grateful I am for starting where I started, and then I worked out in Texas and came back, and I was like, I'll never leave. I'm like, it is crazy out there. It's just a totally different like dynamic and culture, and I'm glad I started where I started because I think that's how I've been so successful, is running it kind of like a business. And yeah, no,
Well, yeah, I mean, it is a business, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
This is-
I mean, people think it's just a party, which it is a party, right? But I'm not the one that's partying,
right,
right? For me, I'm running a business, and I got to maximize my time there, and I got to maximize hopefully everybody's experiences there, including the staff, right? Because you might just come in to fucking sell some beers and hopefully make a couple of bucks.
Yeah.
But if I teach you a thing or two, and now you're making thousands instead of hundreds, then I maximize your experience too. So that's kind of how I see it.
We hear that a lot,
Feel better about myself too, doing
Yeah.
that. Like, I'm not just showing up. Like I feel better about myself and what I do.
I can't tell you how many times we've heard people that have, came and worked with us and then left to go do something else or do my own thing. And then you see them maybe 6 months, a year, even later than that. And they're like, you know what, I really appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. I mean,
Right.
I think for me is how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Yeah.
And then in a setting like ours, you're half naked. So if you can actually be in that position where you're exposed, and then you are, given certain professional standards to how to sell or how to conduct yourself, you can translate that to just about everything.
yeah,
So, everything's the same, just a different approach. So if you can actually be in that environment where, you talk to literally every walk of life. I mean, you have the guy that installs roofs. You have the guy that works for, a CEO of a top 500 Fortune 500 company. So if you can learn how to talk to all of these people, and then you take that to a different career, you know, I mean, you're miles ahead of anybody, I think. So.
Yeah. What else you got? What other questions you had?
How many fingers up the butt do you like?
No, I'm good.
He said, nah.
None.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
When I was younger, but no.
Oh my gosh.
After the colonoscopy, you know, it just feels like a chore. Just kidding.
Well, you guys are in love. You've been together for a long time. So how'd you guys start working together at the club?
At the
You've been
club?
together
Well,
forever.
that we're
Yeah.
not in love.
A
We
little
love
bit.
each other.
We talked about
I
this
can
on
tell
a
a story.
previous episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've known each other for
So
high
I
school.
think I was the first one to start working at. I've always done service industry. So ever since my first job was running food at a restaurant, I think, and then which is still my favorite restaurant. I go
What
there and I
restaurant?
feel like, you know, it takes me back to when I was 14. 15.
Yeah?
Harper's.
Harper's right.
Harper's in South
You and
Park.
what was that guy's name? You and him worked together.
Brian.
Brian.
Yeah, we did the first party.
Yeah, you did the first party together.
Yeah.
Remember that?
So, yeah, I tried the college thing. I did all kinds of shit. I did interior design. I did business, all that stuff. It just wasn't for me, really. And so I at a younger age, I started making money doing parties and events. And at one point, I opened basically the market for people doing Latin parties and traditionally regular clubs, I guess, you know, EDM or hip hop, things like that. So when the club was going out of business, basically, you know, they need a night that would be good for them, like a Thursday night. You know, they wouldn't give me like if they were really going out of business, they give me a Friday night. You know?
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Rumba Productions.
Yeah, so-
they're like,
So I did that for like 5-6 years from the time I was 20 until 25, I think, pretty consistently. So I'd only work on the weekends and you know, get drunk and have a good time.
yeah.
And so after that, I took a regular corporate job because, you know, you got to have a paycheck and an insurance and all that shit. And, you know, I'm 25. I'm like, oh, I'm behind in life. And so Jaffe actually was the first one at the club, but he was a floor host. And I just asked him if there was anything available. So then I started as a floor host, and then I became a manager and then a GM and stuff like that. And then I traveled for work for the company. And I worked in Texas as well. So when I was in the middle of that, Carlos was working at the dealership, and the economy was shit. 2008, 2007, 8.
2008.
And we'd come home. You know, I'm 26 when I started working, so 26, 27, and you know, we just party right after work. So you know, whatever bottles
They were having
customers
the
didn't
time
consume.
of their life.
Dude, like we were drinking Cristal. I'm 26. We're drinking Cristal. We're drinking Dom. We're drinking whatever. You know,
a
I mean,
bunch of
people,
You guys
chicks.
still
people
do
just
that.
leave like, you know, like
a bunch of
Still get the
chicks.
Cristal.
Oh, you're 26, whatever. So yeah, we'd come home, and at the time, Carlos and I had bought the house together, and it had a pool in the back. So when we bought it, the whole vision for the pool was the parties.
Yeah.
You know, oh, we're gonna have amazing parties here. And so, but you know, he worked at a regular corporate job. And we would be taking advantage of the pool, you know. So we'd come home at 3 a.m. with leftover Cristal and shit, and you know, we'd be drinking until I don't know 4 or 5 a.m. and then you know get up at 2, 3 in the afternoon every day. That was our life. And so he would get so upset because you know we'd be laughing our asses off, and he
I couldn't. They wouldn't let me
Be
sleep.
quiet.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me sleep.
yeah. And so he'd get up in the morning, what the fuck? And he'd be laughing, and we'd be laughing, but we were trying to really be quiet. We weren't trying to be disrespectful. We were like, but you know how you're trying to be quiet? You're like, hey, don't be loud. And you're like really being
While
loud.
the
I
music's
guess.
playing.
I guess, I don't know. We smoke weed. We're laughing our asses off. So anyway, so we ended up, and come on, man, you know, we're making money. And he just wouldn't want to take that, you know, because he had gone to college, like the straight route of going to college.
Yeah, so you did
In a
want to work at the
bachelor's.
club, like at first?
I mean, not originally, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, he would, and then, you know, he had this corporate job. He was making a lot of money, and then, you know, the economy took a different turn. And so, but, you know, the strip club is good when it's good, and it's
I
good
got
when it's
fed
bad.
up, like, because I was, I like my job selling cars. I worked at a good company, but when
You're like, I just want to party.
no, I didn't even care about that. The market crashed, and then I think I worked for like 30 days straight. Other than Sundays, like working 12 hours a day, and I don't think I made $1.
Damn.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I got written up. On top of that,
Happens.
and I was just like, "You kidding, motherfucker!" And like, no one's coming in the door to my car. It's to me, that was like a blow. Like,
The
oh, you
sign,
wrote me up.
yeah.
Like, So then they had already offered me to join, and but I was like, I'm not leaving in a low. So I waited like 3 months, and I had like one of my best months ever, and that's when I left.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm like, I'm not leaving, like with my fucking tail between my legs. Like,
Yeah.
fuck that. So I waited, and then I left, and felt a little, much better about that.
Did you start doing the floor hosting first, or you just became a manager?
No, I started as I think they offered me a manager job, but something happened. So then they were like, we have this, $2 an hour floor host job. You want it? And I was just like, at this point, I was like, fuck it. Like, I was like, my mind was gone from the dealership. So I took it, and I was a floor host for like 8 months or something.
Look at you now.
I think most of us started as floor.
Yeah, I started flows. You told me a story about one of the parties. You want to share it now?
Oh, I can't share that.
Okay.
Like
The one I told you.
That's how bad the parties were. You can't tell on this show.
You guys gotta tune in. Keep tuning in. Subscribe. That's on the subscription
Well,
side.
you told me stories, so I'm like, maybe I shouldn't ask
I'll
about
tell you why in a second.
They were fun, man. I had a great time.
From what I heard.
Yeah, it was a good time, dude. Yeah, we partied. I mean, because that was my life, so everything around me was like that,
Right.
So all my friends just kind of benefited from, my lifestyle, I guess, in some way or another, because we would do the Latin parties, and then the after parties would be either at my house or my friends' houses, and we just, we clean fun. We just drink a lot.
Yeah.
And excuse Colombians, Colombians. So Colombians drink a lot. Colombians drink until 6 a.m. I
remember getting aguardente for you for a party that you did
yeah,
at Liquid. Yeah. You're like, we have to get this. I'm like, why? You're like, trust me.
But
Trust
hardly
me.
anybody drank it, right? Mostly.
Oh, you did.
I drank a lot back
You
then.
drank a lot. We all did that, didn't we?
Yeah, it was a good time, man.
Yeah.
Trip down memory lane.
Yeah.
But I think we, even though we partied at the house with the pool, we were never really in the pool.
Nobody ever is. Nobody ever is still. I used it today as a cold plunge. That's about it.
Yeah. Dude, it was crazy. The girls were funny and a good time, and everybody be loud, and the lady next door would complain.
So
the neighbor, remember?
We've been in the industry since we were in our 20s.
Yeah.
We're in our 40s.
Yeah.
It's like it's just so different, because like now walking around that club, I know the girls look at you like you're a dad almost, like just like someone.
Daddy.
You're so much older.
We all have daddy issues.
like
Sense,
yeah, but it's like you're so much older. Like back then, we're like almost in the same age. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like different. It was different,
That's funny.
Will you ever leave, or will your ghost still work there? Like
I'm gonna
work.
haunt everyone.
You're gonna be in the walls.
Speaking of
Cleaning
ghosts, you have some crazy haunted stories too about that same house, right?
There was some.
Yeah?
There was some, yeah.
Which
Until I got my dog. My
That's
dog,
when it stopped?
Yeah, my dog. When I got the one that I currently have, yeah.
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 Because I remember, I don't buy that. I'm like, there's always an explanation. You're like, listen, there's some things that have happened in my house that I can't explain. I don't know if you want to dig into it or not.
Oh, man. Just,
No?
He's like, I'm gonna try to sell it one day. I can't.
Listen, that's in the book.
Yeah.
It's in the book.
People look me up and be like, "No, the house is haunted." Fuck that.
Trying to sell the house, Will.
Yeah.
You got any questions for me? Or don't be scared.
Oh my god, I'm like so nervous.
I mean, I don't mind talking about my butthole. So
Obviously.
nothing's up. Nothing's up.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about your asshole if you want. I guess.
No. We can move on to the next subject.
I mean, well, you are in your like healing era. So what do you do with it? You have like a house with what is it? Like a sauna, a cold plunge,
retreat.
a retreat.
Oh, you're,
okay.
You want to tell your...
Are you gonna write a self-help book?
No. I mean, life has been interesting for me. So I've done a lot of things, and I partied a lot, and I think there comes a point where you kind of want something beyond that. So for me, it's been more of a self-discovery over the years, and so I practice a lot of mindfulness and physical health and some spiritual as well. So,
Grounding.
yeah. So I got a bunch of stuff that I do. You want me to go into detail? Or?
Sure. Why not?
I do a lot of biohacking. So biohacking is when you use natural things to feel better, for longevity and for health. So I do plunging, I do sauna. Plunging is when you get in the cold water. And mine's like 39 degrees, and I do that almost daily, like 3 to 5 minutes a day. And then I do the sauna about 15, 20 minutes a day, and obviously work out at least 5 days a week, and some intermittent fasting most of the week, stuff like that.
Do you guys do that kind of stuff too?
I do 48 hour fasting. I've stopped for a while because I'm going through something else, but do 48-hour fasting once a week. I want a cold plunge. I've bought a system, but I haven't started yet.
To the warehouse.
Yeah, it's in the warehouse. I can't fucking find it.
Listen, cold plunge is amazing, but it's just not for everybody. I mean, it's cold as fuck.
It's cold.
So you have to really put your mind in that space where that's what you're gonna do.
Like I
That's why I like my little 50
minutes,
degree
right?
cold plunge.
I mean, it's 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do a minute, you can do 2 minutes. It's not, the protocol is 11 minutes a week, but it's just not for everybody.
And it doesn't have to be 39 degrees either.
Can you just take a cold shower? Does it have to be
39 to 55, I think.
Yeah, so this is my 50. I'm still cold.
Yeah. I mean,
Told you they were
cold
in
showers
love.
are good too, but
like I
but
did one
it
this
does
morning.
not the
Touch my
benefit
hand.
of the plunge.
I hate being cold.
So I mean, you can do. I think it's 39 to 55. I like to do 39 degrees just because I like torture, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's not for everybody. I mean, I've had the plunge for about 8 months, I think, or something like that, and I haven't had. I've invited friends, and they're like, yeah, but then nobody shows up.
No one shows up. Yeah.
So
Usually
my girl at home,
live in the country.
she don't get in it. My brother's been visiting; he's been twice. So it's just not for everybody. It's cold as fuck. So you really have to put your mindset in that space where that's what I'm gonna do. This is my lifestyle, and it's just part of my routines and my daily habits.
Yeah.
So and it's just it's torturous.
You're not starting them out at 39, though, are you, when they come over?
Yeah. I don't move it for
You're like,
nobody.
yeah, get out.
No, but
That's probably
they
why
gotta
they
feel
don't
what
come
I
over.
feel.
They're like,
No, but I train. Like we work on breath and breathing exercises.
you got to
before.
start them out at like 55.
Because you have to,
Takes a while.
you have
Yeah.
to you have to align your breath with your nervous system and things like that. So you don't just go in there like I'm gonna be cold, cold. But
Yeah.
no, you have to kind of build the mindset and stuff like that. So, but you're welcome to try it anytime.
I would love to. I don't think I would last. The silicone would start to freeze over, but I could do
Oh, I
it.
wonder how that works.
I wonder. Sometimes when it's really cold, I know this is going to sound so stupid, but when it's like 30 degrees, like my chest starts to hurt, I'm like, it's the silicone freezing over.
Really? It's weird.
Yeah.
What does
I don't
Can
think
it
that's
freeze over?
scientific.
What does it freeze at?
Oh,
Google
Does
it. I don't know.
I know,
But
right?
it does get cold here, but we'll see.
You guys ever had an experience where you guys feel like you're gonna quit, like you don't want to work there, like an experience that makes you feel like you're?
nah, never. I love my job.
That's what I wanted to know because I know that
Yeah.
you guys love it.
Uh-huh.
But I wonder if you've ever had an experience where it's like,
I'll tell you mine. I think that I'm extremely fortunate because it's a place where I can be myself. So there's not many spaces where you can make a living that is, 5% of the population, right? And then on top of that, you can be yourself. My day never changes. I just have to change into an outfit. So we wear suits. So how we're talking right now, how we interacting is how it's always every day of my life. So I just simply know that around 5 o'clock, I got to head to work. I got to put on a suit. And I continue to talk shit, and just continue to be myself, and I just like to, I always have a positive mindset. And, at this point in my life, it's just who I am. So when I get there, I just continue to be myself and continue to have fun. And, And, you know, and then we interact with a lot of different types of people, you know, especially at work. You know, we try to be positive, and, you know, we have conversations with the staff when they're feeling a certain type of way about life. And, you know, we have experience now, so we can give advice and things like that. So it's a space where, you know, just in general in life, life is hard. And so, you know, in a place like that, you know, you see a lot of different walks of life, and people are dealing with different situations. So it's a good space for us to kind of also mentor people, you know. And, you know, I always tell them that, you know, that space is a good stepping stone for the next chapter in their life. And then you can kind of, you know, translate some of your knowledge and some of your own experiences. And so those are the type of conversations I have. You know, it's not just, you know, sell some shit and you know, go get naked. You know, it's more like, you know, what's going on. You know, it's about the person too. So the nighttime gets tough. I mean, you know, night shift is not easy. It's not for everybody. You know, you're working, you know, just Friday night, the guys were there until 7 a.m. You know, I mean, on Tuesday, I was there until 5 a.m. So, you know, you work until the well is dry. So if somebody's wanting to spend money, we'll be open for you until you want to leave. So that becomes tough. You know, that becomes tough. And then you also have to have a balance of your life, your personal life. So you don't want to sleep the day away either. You know, so I try to get up at a decent time. And sometimes when you know, I'm up until 5 a.m, I can't get up at a decent time. You know, so you know, just try to kind of have that balance. And that's why I practice all the things that I practice to kind of just, you know, bring some sort of normalcy to, or I don't even know I want to call it normalcy, but, you know, a balance to all aspects of my life, you know. So
To answer your question, I'm going to answer, and I'm also going to answer on behalf of Jaffe. This is what Jaffe would always say. I'll work there for free for the rest of my life. Yeah. You don't even got to pay me. Just let me work, you know, like, because, you know, we make money in cash, you know. So, yeah, no, it's a great job. I mean, like you know, we deal with hard things, but, you know, it'll be like a fight or a guy threatening you or, you know, little issues. There's like no real big issues that are like affecting you, you know, like you deal with some negativity, but you're going to deal with that, you know, in whatever aspect of your life. So it's not, you know, it's not nothing like that. It's a great job, you know, because, you know, to go back to what, you know, whatever she had talked about, where I worked before, people would not like you immediately. Like, you know, when I was a car salesman, people automatically don't really like you because they don't want to talk to you. In this place, people are coming to have fun. So like the vibe, it's like still, you know, I'm here to party. So like it's always a positive energy in the room, you know? So that's, I mean, if you work in a corporate world or something like that, you don't walk into that. You walk into like, oh, you got, you know, I got to, do my tasks or whatever. Here you're walking into like, you know, everybody having fun. So it's a great place, a great job.
Well, I think in other jobs you play a role. So you're not yourself, right? You become this avatar of the, you know, and so you're not real. You know, nobody is. So in this particular job, you don't have to be somebody else. You can be yourself. And that, you know, that's worth all the money in the world. Mm-hmm.
I think what keeps it interesting and why it's a job that we keep and don't seem to want to leave is that you never know what's going to come at you next, you know? So it's exciting, you know?
Not boring.
It's like you never know what's going to happen. You know, you're going to open the door and like, wonder what's going to happen today, you know? And there's always going to be something that's going to be like, holy shit, that was hilarious, or that was a pain in the ass, but it's always something shooting at you. And it tends to be exciting, and that's thrilling, you know? And that's what life's about. Instead of sitting at a desk somewhere and knowing exactly what you're going to do, and you're like, So there's no monotony to it. Plus, you know, we've been doing it for a while, even in other atmospheres, other businesses, in night shift work. So there's nothing you can throw at us that we can't handle, you know, but
probably seen it.
Let me find some wood to knock on because you never know. You never know, you know, what the hell's going to come next. And I think that's what I enjoy about it because I look forward for the next exciting or whatever comes at me that I've never experienced before and how to handle it.
There's literally not a the same day twice. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's always something different. I mean, there's, you know, you have so many elements. You know, we have the customers, the entertainers, the staff, the kitchen, the boutique, the valet, the front. So in every little piece of the puzzle has its own ecosystem, and there's own issues. So, if it's not this one today, is this other one, or sometimes it's all of it at once, And sometimes, shit, the moon is full and it brings a lot of crazy fuckers, So that's when we go outside and we see a full moon. Oh shit! What's gonna happen today? We had some crazy stories. I can tell you some. I'll tell you a funny story. We need to wrap it up or what?
Yeah, we've been having to wrap it up.
Okay, I'll tune in.
Like the only thing that would make me like quit, or I think sometimes, I love it. I feel like it's a good energy, but sometimes like it is an energy that's like, it's filled with like greed and like sometimes a lot of drama. And then I take that home. It like fucks with your own energy. So I'll have to take like breaks from my mental health days, and I take care of yourself. I think that would be the only thing.
Recharge,
sometimes it gets a little bit in your head. And then as a woman, in that environment, you're surrounded by men and drunk men. And a lot of that can just kind of get to your head. So you got to cleanse yourself and take care of yourself. But I will never quit. They'll have to drag me out of there in a wheelchair. I'm never leaving.
It's definitely a different dynamic between, our job. We have the cool job that people want to be friends with.
Right.
And somewhat respectful to us. And then there's the other one that you have to deal with, which is yours. And then, it's a woman's world. Even though it's a gentleman's club, and it's catered towards men, it is a woman's world.
For sure.
And so, you're in a competitive space, and women are extremely competitive, right?
Yeah.
And catty, and, and it's money, and it's also attention too.
Yeah.
So, if a pretty new girl or in
there's
general,
a lot of personality, a lot of ego. It's just like all those, it just fucks with your energy sometimes. So that would be the only thing that would throw it off a little bit.
My advice to you would be to not carry that stuff. I personally imagine if I carried every single issue in that space.
Yeah.
So I handle an issue and it's literally forgotten.
Yeah.
And so I would suggest that for you. Just don't carry it because it doesn't matter. Because the next day it's a new day. Or even when you get home, it's over. As long as you haven't gotten fired, you're good.
All right, I guess we're going to wrap up. Thank you, Madison, for coming again.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Episode 20. Thank you, everyone. Peace.
Thanks, guys. Subscribe.
All right. Thanks, Madison. Appreciate it.
For sure.